Here with Coach Malcolm Chase of Xcelerate Lacrosse Camps. Coach, if you would just introduce your background to us a little bit, your playing career, and how you got into coaching and stuff.
Sure. I've been coaching at Xcelerate Lacrosse Camps for 5 years now under Steve Anderson, who was one of my assistant coaches when I was a player at Whittier College. I graduated from Whittier in 2001, and I still continue to play in men's club tournaments all around the country.
Nice. And what is your impressions as you've moved out west more with lacrosse in general and the growth of the sport?
Yeah, since I played at Whittier 10 years ago, the sports has grown exponentially. This is my first trip to the Pacific Northwest to check out players up here, and there are still a lot of first, second, third-year players in high school, at the high school level, but they all seem really coachable. They seem like they want to learn. They're eager to learn from us, and there's not a whole lot of attitudes out here. Everybody's pretty humble and just energetic and psyched to be out here playing lacrosse.
Okay, what do you feel Xcelerate has to offer above everyone else that makes Xcelerate such a great lacrosse camp?
I think the coaching staff's great. I mean, there are a lot of guys here that I've been working with, at least 2 or 3 years, and then some other camps, some guys who've been here longer than I have. So I think the continuity is great, and just kind of a symbol of the camaraderie in the sport. And you see that carry on from camp to camp and year to year. I think the other piece of it is the level of instruction. We have NCAA head coaches, assistant coaches. We've got current players. We've got professional level players. So I think you've got knowledge being dropped on these kids from all areas of the game.
And how important, as someone who's played at D3 and played on the West Coast kind of area, how important would you say lacrosse camps like Xcelerate lacrosse camps are to a player's learning and growth in the game?
I think it's crucial. This day and age, the recruiting camp has really gained a lot of popularity. It's not to say that those aren't beneficial, but the level of teaching at recruiting camps is limited. An instructional camp like this that's dedicated to the skills of the sport is really important, especially for entry-level players. But I think for any level player, you need to review the fundamentals and make sure you've got a mastery of those before you go on to recruiting camps. It's only going to help you, in the recruiting scene in the long run.
Okay. So now someone that you coach currently at University of Southern Maine. We were talking earlier about recruitment videos. What would you say your favorite recruitment song or video song is?
That's a tough one. You get a lot of interesting songs. Some are really appropriate, some maybe not as appropriate, but at any rate, there's some entertainment value to all of them. I recently had one come through with Rage Against the Machine, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of symbolized the players' aggressive style of play. And then there was another player from Texas who sent me one, and he's a really equally vicious defender, but at times it all up to Slightly Stupid, which is kind of like a reggae rock band, which is a little bit more low key. But he was still throwing really nasty checks on some guys and landing them to a pretty mellow song. So I thought that was kind of cool, just the contrast. Not really compromising his own personality.
Yeah, that's good. So as then also coach again, what kind of tips would you recommend to someone growing up into the sport, especially on the West Coast?
I moved east to west, but I got to talk to a lot of guys, who were kind of going west to east and looking to move into some varsity programs back east. And I think wall ball's huge. That's your best friend constantly at any level. It doesn't really matter if you're youth level, if you're a professional, if you're a world level player. You look at all those world level guys, they still play wall ball to this day. I think that's the biggest one, being able to handle your stick and have solid stick skills. And beyond that, never think that you're there. You talk to some of the better players in the sport. You look at the guys like the Gate brothers, look at the Powell brothers. Those guys are always working on their game, and that's why they're the best in our game. They're just constantly improving.
All right, awesome. Thanks for your time, Coach.